Assalamu alaikum. Welcome to another broadcast of Black Wealth Empowerment Live Google Hangout. Welcome, everybody. My name is Daryl Muhammad from Houston, Texas, mosque number 45. But I'm coming to you live right now from Cancun, Mexico. I'm here in Cancun, Mexico. Every year I take a personal spiritual retreat, and I'll share that more with you later on in another time, maybe a private members only video. But welcome to another exciting broadcast here at Black Wealth Empowerment Live, brothers and sisters. We want to welcome you. We want to tell you to sit in, get comfortable. We have an amazing broadcast for you this evening. So before I get started, let me go ahead and just thank our surprise co-host last week. We had a surprise for you. You didn't know Brother Jesse wasn't going to be here. But we had Brother Rodney Assad Muhammad, the courage coach, stepped right in, did a very good job in filling in for our brother Jesse Muhammad. So we want to thank Brother Rodney Assad for doing that, and he is now officially one of our co-hosts for BWE, so you will be hearing from him on a regular basis as a co-host for us here at BWE Live Google Hangout. So without further ado, let us welcome back our brother. You know him, you love him, Mr. Twitter 2.0 himself, Brother Jesse Muhammad.
Assalamu alaikum, family. And again, welcome to the Black Wealth Empowerment, another powerful Google Hangout. I'm happy to be back with the family. Of course, been on the road, moving, putting in work for our Father and spreading the message of the Teachings 2.0. We were blessed to be in Atlanta, Georgia. And now we're headed again to Boston and then Tampa and some other cities. But I'm always excited to be back. So again, you already know. You know the routine. They know it, Brother Darryl. We need you to go ahead in the Elusive Exclusive Facebook group. We want you to go ahead and start leaving comments. Start checking in, letting us know that you're in the house, that you're ready, and you're fired up to hear from Sister Wendy. And, of course, you know how you can pay it forward. We need you to go ahead and click the share buttons right above you. Tell somebody on Facebook, tell somebody on Twitter that we're live, hashtag BWE Hangout. That's hashtag BWE Hangout. We need you to go ahead and tell somebody on Facebook, on Twitter, on Instagram. Let them know that we are live on this broadcast and we're ready. We're fired up. We're waiting patiently and impatiently to hear from our beloved Sister Wendy Muhammad. So I'm back. I'm glad to be back, Brother Dow. But look, I'm going to tell you all. Brother Rodney Assad impressed my mother so much last week that brother now has his own table at my mama's dinner table. So, Brother Darryl, I don't know what he did, but he is now officially part of the Jackson 6. We were originally the Jackson 5. Now he's an extra child in our house. Back to you, Brother Darryl.
All right. Well, praise be to Allah. That's good. That is absolutely wonderful. It only contests to the wonderful job that brother did filling in for Brother Jesse. He did such a wonderful job. He's now part of the family. So praise be to Allah. Brothers and sisters, as Brother Jesse said, you know the routine. We want you to participate. This is about building wealth. This is about building wealth, brothers and sisters, so you need to participate. So we need for you to go in the private, exclusive Facebook group right now and enter your name, what city you're from, the mosque you belong to, and any business you have, your business, your company name, some flyers, a link, whatever you have to promote your business, brothers and sisters. If you're working, if you're an employee, that's great too, that's fine. Put what you do for a living. And if you're a student, we need for you to include that as well, okay? Include that you're a student as well so we can connect. This is about networking. This is a live virtual networking platform, brothers and sisters. So we want you to do that. Your name, what city you're from, the mosque or study group, and we want you to put your company name, your company's URL, your company's website. All right? We're going to take roll here in a few more minutes. This is a classroom for those who want to build wealth. This is a classroom for entrepreneurs that understand that they have to take their business to the highest level in order to create the type of products and services that will allow us to build wealth for ourselves, our family, but most importantly, our nation. So brothers and sisters, go in there right now and put in that information. If you see someone in there that you don't know, then introduce yourself, because we have a lot of new members. And it's always first impressions are lasting impressions. So we want to make sure that we welcome them. We welcome them, so find somebody in the Private Elusive Exclusive Facebook group after you tell us who you are, what city you're from, your mosque or study group, and what business you have or what business you're in, and if you go to school. Put that information in first so Brother Jesse can start taking roll. But after that, brothers and sisters, we want you to introduce yourself to a couple of people, all right? A couple of fellow members of BWE, Private Elusive Exclusive Facebook group. So that's what we want you to do. We want you to start getting involved, and as more join us on tonight's broadcast, then we will take this to the next level. We have an exciting program for you tonight, brothers and sisters. It's the very first sister that's coming on as a guest here at BWE Live, and we're excited about that because we're not going to go anywhere far without our sisters. So we want to show that, we want to exemplify that by having the best of the best come on and share with us here at BWE Live. And we're going to get more into Sister Wendy and her qualifications here later. But once again, as Brother Jesse said, right above the screen, right above our heads, it's time to pay it forward, brothers and sisters. Pay it forward. That's when you do an act of kindness for someone else, not looking for anything in return. So go to the links above. You have the Facebook like button. Click that right now. Okay, all you A students, you've probably done it already. Do it right now. We want everybody to click the like button. The second button is the Facebook share button. As Brother Jesse just said, put hashtag BWE Hangout space the mind of an entrepreneur. The mind of an entrepreneur. Put that right now in the Facebook share. Okay? Then we're going to move to the Google. Put in there hashtag BWE Hangout. Just put that right there in Twitter. Hashtag BWE Hangout. All right? And Brother Jesse is going to tell us why we ask you to do that. It's very powerful. Allow us to people to see the conversation that's taking place around those hashtags in Facebook and in Twitter. It allows you to come back once again afterwards, put in those hashtags, and look at the notes and see what the conversation was around those hashtags. So brothers and sisters, that's what you want to do. You have Instagram above. You have Pinterest there. You have, what else you have there? I think, Google Plus. Google Plus. We have that up there as well. So do that right now, brothers and sisters. Let's go ahead and pay it forward. Let's take about 10 seconds right now. Hit those tabs, and we're going to pay it forward, and we're going to continue into this broadcast. Another thing that I want to bring to your attention, brothers and sisters, is on the Private Elusive Exclusive Facebook page, up in the right-hand side, the top right-hand side, there's a link or a button called Notification. Notification. Make sure you click that. Make sure that is checked. All right? Make sure notification is checked. Because as we progress, okay, as we continue to move forward with our platform, then a lot of information will be disseminated through the Private Elusive Exclusive Facebook group only, not on these broadcasts. Broadcasts is to deliver a message, deliver training, and give you the tools. But everything else will be done in that group. So by you checking the notification box, you will receive, it'll pop up on your Facebook screen when something is delivered in the Private Elusive Exclusive Facebook group. So with that being said, let me roll it over to Brother Jesse. Let us know who has followed the instruction and who has shown up for class today. Brother Jesse?
Yes, sir, Brother Darrell. Of course, we have our official co-host, the Courage Coach, Brother Rodney Assad, has checked in from Phoenix, Arizona. Our brother was the first person, of course, to post. So welcome again to our brother. Speak author, and wealth mentor. We also have Brother Rick X, who is the baker by trade. Just one of the things he said that he does. Mars number 24 from Richmond, Virginia. And you already know Mr. and Mrs. Consistent, Brother Darren and Sister Jennifer of Phoenix, Arizona, Mars number 32 in the area of customer service for 16 years there in the house. Sister Charlotte Muhammad of Phoenix, Arizona. She says she's so excited, she's ready because she missed a couple of shows. So she's amped up again and she is in hashtag learning mode, Brother Darrell. She's in learning mode. So that's so far who we have that has checked in so far, my brother. And so again, if you're just now joining us, we need you again to post your name, your city, your mosque, and your business venture. And I want you to warn you, Brother Dow, our brother Ricky, is almost about time. Look like he's trying to post food pictures inside of the group. So if you haven't ate while you're in Cancun, please do not log on to the Elusive Exclusive Facebook group because it will make you hungry. And that's what we have going so far, my brother.
All right. All right. We want to welcome and thank everybody that's following instruction and participating by letting us know that you are with us this evening, that you are with us this evening. Now, I'm coming from you live from Cancun, Mexico, so my feed might be kind of choppy, my sound or my vision, the video might fade in and out, but hang in there with us because Brother Jesse, he's more than capable of taking over because as it says in show business, the show must go on. Wealth building must go on, brothers and sisters. It does not stop. It continues, and hopefully our intent is to build up enough wealth so it can continue after we're dead and gone. That's really what wealth is supposed to do. So we want to thank you all for being here. We want to thank you for coming back. It's the second week in a row. We took off about 2 weeks a couple of weeks ago. So we want to thank everybody for returning back. Some folks, you know, get lost and slides a little break and they break. But you all have came back, and we're so grateful for your membership, and we're so grateful for your participation. Brothers and sisters, you hear us say often that this is a giver's economy. We're part of a crusade, a giver crusade. All right? We want you to be a part of that crusade. We know you are because you're here. All our guests are part of that crusade because they're giving. They're giving of their talent. They're giving of their energy. But most importantly, the most important thing, brothers and sisters, they're giving of their time. So we are in that giving mode. So as I said before, by being in the giver's economy, we are going to give the services that we have available, Brother Jesse and I, on this platform. All right? We're going to give away consultation. We're going to give away the ad spaces that you see below the video, and there's some spots on the side and in the corner. So that's going to be available to you. If you want any one of those spots, this is what you have to do. You get with a graphic designer, all right, and you get your graphic made and send it to Brother Jesse. Jesse at blackwealthempowerment.com. Give it Brother Jesse. Email him. He'll give you the dimensions that you need. And go ahead and get that done, brother. Says this is free advertisement. This is free advertisement. All right? Only thing you have to do is pay for your graphic design, and some of you all can do that. So that's what we want to do. We're going to give away advertisement. Advertisement, you know, like a commercial where you get a product and you put it on the screen, talk about the benefits and features of the product. We're going to do that with your product. So, brothers and sisters, if you have a product that you want us to advertise for free, you contact me at Daryl@blackwealthempowerment.com, and I'll tell you, you tell me what product you have or service, and then we'll tell you what we need in order to display it so they can see the product, so they can see what it is that they're getting. Okay, so that's advertisement. Interviews, free interviews. We don't charge anybody for these interviews. This is our way of participating in the crusade, a giver's economy. So no charges. Guest appearances, okay? Guest appearances, all right? Those are two different things. You come on as a guest, you share the information you have, and then there's interviews where we actually interview you, all right? That's a different format. We haven't really had an interview yet, but for those of you all who are in business, all right, and you want to be interviewed by us, meaning question and answers interview like you see on TV. All right, not a presentation. That's what a guest appearance parents does. All right, then get in contact with Brother Jesse. So that's what we want to do. That's what we want to do. This is a giver's economy. So brothers and sisters, we're going to leave by that, but we have to have participate by sending us that information so we can get in contact with you and we can give you these things that we already have available so you can take advantage of them. Okay? So that being said, we want to welcome everybody once into Black Wealth Empowerment Live Google Hangout. Be in the Facebook group, introduce yourself to people, put your nuggets in there. Any nugget that you get anytime during this broadcast, especially with Sister Wendy, put that in the private, elusive, exclusive Facebook group. Whenever you get an aha moment, put that in there. Why do you do that? Because we're in a giver economy. Why do we do that? Because we're in it for it. So someone else who watches later, who put the private, elusive, exclusive Facebook group later, can see the notes, and they can get the nuggets from the notes, from your input, from your notes in the private, elusive, exclusive Facebook group. Remember, brothers and sisters, a bright idea to you, all right, or a nugget to you might be a breakthrough for someone else. A nugget, just a nugget, something, an aha moment that you hashtag and you put in the group might be a breakthrough for someone else. Okay? So, Brother Jesse, I hear some beeping going on, which lets us know there's activity in the private, elusive, exclusive Facebook group. Let me know what's going on.
Yes, sir. You're absolutely right. Beeping does mean activity. So we want to welcome Brother Jabari X, our brother. He said this is his first time ever tuning in as a member of the Elusive Exclusive Facebook group. So we want to welcome you, Brother Jabari. What we need you to do, and those who have not yet, need you to put your name, your MOS number, your city, and we need to know what is your business venture that you're involved in, that you've been thinking about or trying to build, or that you have presently established. So again, we need your city, your MOS, your business venture. Please post that inside the Elusive Exclusive Facebook group. And we want to welcome back our beloved brother Michael Carlos Muhammad, who's checking in from Phoenix, Arizona. That's our brother. That's that wealth consultant, excuse me. Also, a brother, he posted a beautiful video inside of the group, I think this past week, Brother Darryl. So Brother Michael has definitely been participating, and we want to welcome Sister Cheryl Muhammad. Our sister just posted that she was having difficulty getting the link, but she said she's on now, I believe, and we want to welcome her as well. So thank you all so much that are participating, and again, we want to welcome everybody to the Black Wealth Empowerment Google Hangout, and she is, Sister Cheryl is on. Thank you so much. So again, one more time, your name, your city, your MOS number, and we need to know your business venture. Why? Now, we're not knocking. People can do what they choose to put their energy towards. But Black Wealth Empowerment, instead of pouring ice on our heads, we want to pour some clients into your business and some money into your business. So don't be shy about telling us what you're doing, because why? This is what it's about. You don't go to a party not to hit the dance floor, and we don't want you to be in a group and not participate. So that's what's buzzing in the Elusive Exclusive Facebook group, Brother Darryl. It's a party with a purpose.
All right. Thank you, Brother Jesse, and thank you, brothers and sisters who have joined us. Thank you, brother, who's first time here. Welcome. Brothers and sisters, founding members that are listening, that brother said this is his first time. We want to welcome him. Go to his post in the group. Click comment. I want everybody who's been here for several weeks, who's a returning member of BWE Live, to go and introduce yourself to that brother. Find his post, click comment, and welcome him and introduce yourself to that brother. All right? Brothers and sisters, like Brother Jesse said, we're very serious about this mission. We're very serious about helping the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan. Okay? This is a class of participation. All right? That's why we have it set up, so we can dialogue back and forth using this modern technology. All right? So if you have a business, post that in there. If you don't have a business, you're working. So what do you do for a living? If you don't have a business, you're not working. Does that mean Floyd? Then what kind of job are you looking for? We are a nation within a nation. We have to learn the science of networking, brothers and sisters. If we learn the science of networking, we'll cover that in a future broadcast. There's nothing we can't accomplish. There's nothing we can't achieve. That's why it's in our supreme wisdom. It says friendships in all walks of life. That is networking. That is networking. Okay? So, once again, for the new people, and to remind us again, empowerment is three, with the focus to help the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan, to help him by stimulating the economic consciousness of the believers. Number two, to help us understand what wealth is. Not what we think it is, not what TV tells us it is, but what wealth is and what's required to be wealthy. Be wealthy, not have wealth. Okay? And lastly, to inspire us, brothers and sisters, we have to be inspired. All right? The God in us has to be activated so that we can be willing to pay the price, the full price, full and complete freedom, the full price of wealth, because it is necessary. A nation has to have some of its citizens who are wealthy. That's who provides the job for the citizens, or those that are business people whose mindset is to create jobs. If not, then that forces the government to provide for those individuals in social services and employment. All right? But we want to be a self-sufficient nation. So we have to get to the point, all of us who are in business, get to the point of employment. So we have to be willing to pay the full price and understand that it is worth it and it is necessary. It is worth it and it is necessary. Someone has to make the sacrifice to build wealth, not from a selfish standpoint, but build wealth because they have the love and desire to take some of that wealth and give it back to their nation. That's why you see these very, very wealthy people in America, they give millions and millions and millions of dollars to those causes that they believe in. Do we believe in this cause? Then we need to go out and build wealth so we can do the same thing and give millions and millions and millions of dollars to this cause. Okay? Now, the platform that we're going to use, the platform here at BWE Live is designed to do this. It's the platform to promote businesses, entrepreneurs, speakers in the nation. So it's here to promote businesses, entrepreneurs, speakers who are in the nation. The platform here at BW is to connect consumers and businesses to circulate the black dollar, to connect the businesses in the nation with the consumers of the nation so we can circulate the black dollar among ourselves. We have to be the pioneer, the vanguards, if you will, when it comes to the circulation of the dollar in the black community, within our community, and economic empowerment. Is to provide the training in the areas of sales, marketing, and how to use technology to grow your profits for those of us who are in business. We have the whole September laid out for you, brothers and sisters, and it is powerful to say the least. That we're going to have guests that come on, just like Sister Wendy is going to join us here shortly on the Hangout to provide training and the tools necessary to build wealth. Building wealth is not by luck and is not by accident. It's not by luck and it's not by accident. It's done on purpose and it's a planned activity. It's a planned activity. Let me stop right here. Brother Jesse, well, they can hear me. Brothers and sisters, if you can see my broadcast, if you can see my video, go ahead and put that in the private elusive Facebook group. And Brother Jesse, let me know if they can see it, because on my end, on the broadcasting end, I don't see myself. I just see my little picture right there. So brothers and sisters, if you can see me, or if you can't see me, put it right there in the group. And Brother Jesse, let me know if they can see me, because it just might be the feed and the transmission on my end, since I'm on a Wi-Fi here in the hotel, and you know, God knows what kind of strength does it have. So let me know that. Would you please, Brother Jesse?
I surely will, brother. It might be your video went on vacation. with you. So we're gonna make sure and see if we can get your video on vacation. Yes, sir. We checking that now as we wait.
Well, I tell you what, if they can hear me, that's good.
Yes, sir. They can hear you loud and clear. As I was about to say, you're coming through loud and clear because everybody is posting your quotes inside of the group, my brother. So I don't think nobody's having a problem by hearing your jewels. So keep on going.
All right. Well, praise be to Allah. I'd rather for you to hear me and not see me than see me and not hear me. Okay? Brothers and sisters, Brother Jesse and I, as I said last week, we're very, very excited, not just by where we've come in the last 3 months, BWE Live, with your help. We're excited of the progress we made. We're past target for our 300 members by the Holy Day of Atonement. So we're excited about that. But we're even more excited, brothers and sisters, we're even more excited about the next level of Black Wealth Empowerment Live. We're excited about the things that he and I have brainstormed and put together and put in place. You heard them last week, but for those who missed it, for the brother that's first, let me just share with you very quickly as we move on and get closer to hearing from our sister Wendy Muhammad. Brothers and sisters, we're taking this thing to the next level. So buckle up your seat belts. All right, make sure your seat belts locked. Make sure your doors locked. Make sure that you can see through your front window shield, because we are taking it to the next level. You've heard us say before, the universe rewards those who take action differently from those who don't. Let me say it again. Hashtag BWE Hangout space. The universe rewards those who take action differently from those who don't. So we believe that here. Brother Jesse and I believe that. We're always in action mode, and if we're not in action mode, we're thinking about being in action mode. So when we stop doing something, we can continue in action mode doing something else, brothers and sisters. So we believe that. So we want to reward your efforts. We want to reward each and every one of you for the actions that you take in this group. It doesn't matter how big or how small, we want to reward you. From something as small as a like, to a comment, to posting in the private, elusive, exclusive Facebook book, to the tabs and all that stuff. We want to reward those and treat you special because you're striving to be the best that you can be. And that's the only way wealth can be built. And Brother Jesse can tell you, he has a quote on his blog, you can't build wealth being poker. All right? You can't do that. You have to strive to be excellent. Minister Farhan said years ago, I heard him say years ago, and you can bear witness. He said, you know how you deal with black inferiority? You deal with it with black excellence. Black excellence, brothers and sisters. So that's our leader, that's our teacher, that's our guide, that's what we should be striving for. So we're taking this thing to the next level. We want to reward those action on a consistent basis. So what are we going to do? We're going to have private events just for those who take action. Private events. All right? Nobody else is going to know about them but you who take action. We're going to have private BWE live Google Hangouts. All right? Live Google Hangouts with myself, Brother Jesse, some of our guests. All right? We're going to have those for you who participate. Who participate. We're going to have special offers. So at these events, we're going to have special offers. We're going to have special things that we can offer you that can take your learning to the next level. And these are going to be tools and strategies that only you will receive, only you will get because you're taking action. Free gifts, all right? Givers Economy, free gifts. For those of you who have not taken advantage of the free gift that's right here on this page, if you look below, there's something that we want to give to you. Those that are interested in, those who are serious and understand the power of online marketing, the power of the internet. They can see what's going on in the internet landscape. Then, brothers and sisters, you need to get that free ebook from our brother out of Chicago, Brother Tory Muhammad. It said 7 wages or 7 strategies to wage an online marketing and PR campaign. All right? Go ahead and get that. It's free of charge. Log in. It's downloadable. And then there's 2 other complimentary reports that you can get for free by showing the love, as Steve Harvey said, by paying it forward. All right? By getting people to join us in this crusade here at BWE Live, and that's a giver's economy. All right? So those are the free gifts. That's just one. That's something that you can take advantage of right now. Okay? All right? Do that after the broadcast. Do that after the broadcast. You can always come to the replay, and that link will still be there at the bottom. I think Sister Bambi, she did it because she contacted me. But thank you so very much for your participation, brothers and sisters. So here's how we're going to know. Okay? Here's how we're going to know you're participating. Some ways are going to be more obvious than others. But when you buy or purchase a program from one of our guests, all right, when you get it, we need you to take a picture of you and the product and post it in the group. All right? Take a picture of you and the product, Assad's books. All right? And take a picture and post it in the group. We want to let the whole world know. We want to let the whole membership body know that we're serious, we're taking action, and we believe in this platform so much that we'll put our money where our mouth is. Okay? Now, if it's something, a service or something like that, then any proof of receipt. I think Brother Michael Carlos, he posted in the group the details of the transaction. All right? From the offer that we presented last week. Okay? Because there's no physical product, brothers and sisters. So do that. Do something. Entrepreneurs find a way to get it done. Okay? So we're still talking about taking it to the next level. These are things that are in place already, and then we're making them happen. All right? We talked about last week, book club, book of the month club. Brothers and sisters, we're going to talk about the mind of an entrepreneur. You know, we got to get the right kind of knowledge. The Honorable Elijah Muhammad said, of all the education that you get education to do for yourself, to do for self. But that's a specific kind of education, all right? Unfortunately, the learning institutions teach us to be employees. So that means we have to get an informal education, like you're going to get tonight from Sister Wendy. I've heard a gentleman say, one of my mentors said, a formal education will make you a living. An informal education will make you a fortune. A formal education will make you a living. An informal education will make you a fortune. So hashtag that right now in the private, elusive, exclusive Facebook book and in Twitter. Hashtag BWE Hangout Space. Formal education will make you a living. Informal education will make you a fortune. All right, brothers and sisters. So the book of the month for September, starting tomorrow, is The Science of Getting Rich by Wallace Waddle. The Science of Getting Rich by Wallace Waddle. Get that book. I know someone posted in the group that's audio. That's fine. Brothers and sisters, I always say, get the book. I mean, there's nothing like having something in your hand that you can read, that you can take with you, that you can highlight, that you can take notes. The more interactive you're engaged in the learning process, the easier the learning becomes. So if you got to carry a book and pack a book and remember to take the book with you, see, now you're engaged in the learning process. It's not so convenient because as one gentleman said, if it's easy to do, it's easy not to do. See, that's the problem. If it's easy to do, it's easy not to do. So it's easy just to download it on your phone, and it's easy not to listen to it. But if you're going to choose to listen to it, I still employ you to get the book, brothers and sisters. Get the book. All right? But for whatever reason, you're not going to get the book, then please put in the group that you plan on participating in the conference call that our Brother Michael Carlos Muhammad, who is certified to teach the science of getting rich. He's certified to teach that, and he has stepped up as an A student. He has stepped up and taken full responsibility to help out, to pay it forward, to give of what he learned of that training. And like Brother Jesse said, he put a video there in the private elusive exclusive Facebook group. So those of you who intend and who know you will be part of September's book of the month book club, then you need to watch Brother video, because he gives you clear instruction to prepare you for the book, to prepare you for the call. So Brother Michael Carlos Muhammad will be the call coordinator, if you will, for September's book of the month. And he will have a call, I mean, however often he wants, at least once or twice during the month of September, to answer any questions to help us to understand the power in the book, The Science of Getting Rich. Okay? All right, brothers and sisters, the other thing we talked about, they're taking it to the next level, is members-only videos. Okay? Members-only videos. Brother Jesse and I and our guests, we're going to start putting videos for members only, which means if you're not active in the group, you're going to miss a lot of information because we can't cover it all in 2 hours. Okay? We can't cover it all in 2 hours once a week. But Brother Jesse and I, we can squeeze out 2-3 minutes to do a video. All right? We can do that during the week to keep us focused, keep us in line with the mission here at BWE Live. So we're going to have more and more and more members-only video that can only be found in the elusive exclusive Facebook group. And when we have instructions, that'll be another way to determine those that take action. Because remember, the universe rewards those who take action differently from those who don't. All right, so we cover that. We probably won't cover that anymore because I'll probably put a video with just that, as I did before. Put a video covering those things. We're just going to implement them as they're already in place. We're just going to put them in effect because BWE Live is going to the next level, brothers and sisters. We are going to the next level. We have some other things in place that Brother Jesse and I talked about. We don't want to give you too much too fast because it'll be harder for you to keep up. So with that being said, Brother Jesse, let me swing it back over to you, see what's going on in the private elusive exclusive Facebook group, and then tell us about that speakers program that you launched a couple of weeks ago.
Yeah. Yes, sir. Thank you so much, Brother Dow. I want you to know that the members of the elusive exclusive Facebook group is inside saying, yes, they can't see you, but they said as long as they can hear these jewels, it's all right, my brother. So the video is not coming through, but the jewels are coming through clearly and perfectly because everybody's been posting these comments inside of the group. So again, we want to welcome everybody that's participated. Of course, we got our brother Monique, who's all the way from Japan. He's back on again. Now, our brother is dedicated all the way across the ocean. Brother Dow constantly participating. Want to welcome Brother Darren. Sister Jennifer, well, thank you all again for coming through. And everybody that's been commenting, Sister Charlotte, want to thank Brother Darren, want to thank Brother Rodney Assad, want to thank Sister Cheryl, and all others that have been participating and posting the quotes. Thank you so much for those that have joined us. And again, as Brother Darren.
What time is it in Japan, Brother Jesse?
Sir?
Ask Brother, what time is it in Japan?
That's a good question. Brother Monique, why don't you post in the Facebook group, let us know what time is it in Japan. Let's find that out. I'm pretty sure he'll post that. Oh, we'll just have to Google it real quick. Yes, sir. So again, we also post inside of the group the picture of the book, The Science of Getting Rich, by Brother Wallace Waddles, that Brother Darius said is the book of the month. So please, again, brothers and sisters, let's get that book. Now, not to take too much time because, again, this is my first time meeting our sister over Google Hangout, rather. My first time hearing about her, and I took a lot of time going through her website. So I, too, am very excited to hear from our Sister Wendy very shortly. But prior to that, we want to talk about the Black Wealth Empowerment Speakers Bureau Speakers Platform. Again, I want to thank everyone who has showed so much interest, has sent me emails from the first conference call we had. Those that missed it, they have followed back up with me. I have received calls, text messages, so we are grateful and know that you are very fired up about it. So the first thing is, I want y'all to know the next conference call for it will be this Thursday. But for those that don't know, what is this Speakers Bureau all about? Well, a few years back, I was told that in the 80s, the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan had instructed some top officials for him that we should start a Speakers Bureau for the Nation of Islam. And then I was told that it was brought up again. Well, a few years ago, I had the idea that I wanted to do a Speakers Bureau for our nation because we have so many talents, but we also have so many testimonies. And I believe that we have been robbing the nation, we've been robbing the world of the treasures that we have inside of the nation, going into the schools, speaking at conferences, speaking inside of the jails, speaking at all kinds of places where you can also get paid to do it. So I embarked upon it, doing it. So Brother Dow knows that I have been talking about this for a while, and my brother put the heat on me and said, hey, let's go ahead and push it and do it through BWE. And so that's what we did. And we started with that first initial conference call. And what are the benefits of the Speakers Bureau? Well, number one, you could become a co-host. Like our brother Rodney Assad, the Courage Coach, you could actually become a co-host of this Google Hangout along with us. Also, we can bring you on as a special guest. When you turn yourself into that go-to expert, no matter if it's food, medicine, building websites, consulting, business, whatever it may be, we want to bring you on BWE to have you as a featured speaker. The same way Oprah Winfrey has her last chapter and those different classes she had, well, BWE is the platform for you all to display your greatness. Also, we want to offer free advertisement for those. With the Speakers Bureau, brothers and sisters, it won't just be where we will put you up on a website and hope that somebody call you, but the Speakers Bureau is an active building institution online where we will actually actively show you how to book speaking engagements, but also represent you to help book you. Also, it will be training and speaking. We have Brother Rodney Assad and others who are phenomenal in speaking. Not only do they know how to make contacts, but they know how to make connections. There's two different things. There's a difference between making a contact with your audience and making a connection. And so we're going to teach the mechanics of delivery when you're speaking, how to cater your message to the audience, how to actually package yourself, how to come up with different topics for you to speak on. So we're building an institution, not just something where we will have a site and hope people will call you. Also, we're going to create our own special speakers events. Why is that? You know, I hear a lot of people inside of the nation. Sometimes we do a lot of complaining when we're on TV. We're looking at TV rather, and we see all these different television shows with these panels, and they never invite us on. And we throwing popcorn and throwing bean pie at the TV. They ain't gonna never bring us on. They hating on us. Well, you have to ask yourself the question. This was posed to me and myself, a couple other people some years back. Susan Taylor, the former editor of Essence Magazine, when she was hosting the Essence Festival, a brother from the nation went up to her and said, why don't you ever bring people from the Nation of Islam to be a part of the workshops of the Essence Festival? And Susan Taylor, who loves Minister Farrakhan immensely, she said, well, only ones I really know is Sister Ava. And she said at that time, I just really know Dr. Aleem a little bit. But she said, where can I go online or in a book and find out what talents the nation has to offer so I can marry them with the workshops? Of course, you know, our face was like, wait for it. We had no response. She was right. So we have to develop, brothers and sisters, the online directory, so to speak, where people can find us, but also they can come find us because why? When we host our own events, we invite them to our platform. And that's what BWE is. Easily, Brother Darrell could have said, you know what, we go find somebody else's platform, Brother Jesse, and go over there and just ride their coattail. But no, he created a platform. We created a platform where we drawing people in, nearly 300 members. So that's what the Speakers Bureau is all about. We're going to create platforms, develop speakers so we can unleash our talents and gifts on the people. Last 2 points. Brother Dow is talking about books. Look, brothers and sisters, if you're in the Nation of Islam, you shouldn't even be told about the importance of reading. I became a readaholic in the Nation of Islam. I'm addicted to books. And there's some of us, our bookshelves outweigh our clothes when we move. I'm one of those people. But the book I would like for you to get, brothers and sisters, Brother Dad is very familiar with this book too. It's called The Millionaire Messenger, and it's by Brendan Burchard. I will post it in the group. The Millionaire Messenger. you need to go ahead and get this book as well and start reading it, because this will be part of the basics of what we'll be talking about in the Speakers Bureau platform and in the session. That's the Millionaire Messenger. The Millionaire Messenger. Please get that book. And lastly, going forward, we will have our next conference call this Thursday evening at 7:30 Central Standard Time. I will be sending an email out to everybody that has shown interest. So if you would like to be a part of the Speakers Bureau platform and learn more, send me an email at jesse@blackwealthempowerment.com. That's jesse@blackwealthempowerment.com. And I'll be sending out the conference call information ASAP to everyone no later than Tuesday, as well as to those that may not have been on here. We'll post it inside the Elusive Exclusive Facebook group. And I thank you all so much for your interest, for your excitement, for your texts and your call, because I too am excited as well. And as a side note, I know we don't celebrate them, but I want y'all to know Thursday is actually my birthday anniversary, but I love spending my birthday working inside of the cars, man, because I have no life without this work. So that's it, Brother Dow. So I think it's about that time to get the people warmed up. For Sister Wendy, back to you, my brother.
Absolutely, absolutely. Thank you, Brother Jesse. Brothers and sisters, thank you who have shown interest in the Speakers Bureau. Keep in mind, that is a request and a desire of the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan going back to the early 80s, brothers and sisters. So those of you who have the nerves and guts enough to step forward to help us make a desire of the ministers real, we want to thank you, because sooner or later he's going to hear about BWE Live. Sooner or later he's going to hear about Black Wealth Empowerment Live, and he's going to hear that Brother Jesse and the members have implemented his desire of over 30 years ago. So that being said, brothers and sisters, welcome. Welcome to Black Wealth Empowerment Live Google Hangout. We're happy to have you with us as we move quickly into our main presentation. Sister Wendy is going to come up in the next 5 minutes, but let's go ahead and do some house cleaning. Let's go ahead and get some things set up for it. Once again, we want to pay it forward. Look above your head, brothers and sisters. Look above your head. Let's go ahead and get our wheels, get our fingers warmed up, because sister's going to drop so many nuggets. You need to already have your finger on the trigger. Okay? So going up above your heads right now and click on Facebook, the Facebook like button. Facebook share, hashtag BWE Hangout. Face, it's about to be on. It's about to get started. We're 5 minutes out. We're 5 minutes out. Put in the Twitter feed. Click on Twitter. Put the same thing. Hashtag BWE. Hangout space. Join us. It's about to get started. Join us. It's about to get started. Pinterest, Google Plus. Send out a message, brothers and sisters. Send out a message. You got about 3 more minutes. Go ahead and do that. Go ahead and get your pen and paper ready. Go ahead and do that right now. So we want to thank you for your participation. And one last thing, those who have not done it yet, go into the private Elusive Exclusive Facebook group and put in your name, what city you're from, what mosque. If you have a business, brother and sister, post it. Brother Michael Carlos has the Black Wealth Training website. So see how all that kind of comes together? See how that comes? We're Black Wealth Empowerment. He's Black Wealth Training. He's Black Wealth Training. So go ahead and put your information about your company. Put your profession in there, brothers and sisters. Put, if you're a student, let's learn how to network. There's power in networking. So we want to pay it forward by clicking on the tabs above, and we want to make sure that we understand we're in a giver's economy. This platform is designed for giving. So once again, at the end of this broadcast, just go below. For those that are interested, we all should be who are in business. We all should be interested in online marketing. All right? The longer we take in understanding and implementing online marketing, the further and further we're going to get left behind. We really don't have a choice. All right? So with that being said, brothers and sisters, welcome, welcome, welcome. Let me go ahead and introduce our sister, Sister Wendy Muhammad. Let me go ahead and read. I can't read it all because that'd be another hour, because sister's very, very blessed and accomplished by Allah, and we have her with us tonight. It says here, Wendy Muhammad, entrepreneur, thought leader in the area of business development, crisis manager, business developer, and entrepreneur coach. Wendy is currently the president and director of business affairs for the Minimally Invasive Vascular Center, where along with her business partner, she has developed a progressive business model for outpatient surgical centers. In addition, she is a member of the board of directors for the Cornhusker Capital, a Chicago-based middle market investment banking firm, as well as the board of advisors for DRW Industry, a Chicago-based construction and engineering firm. Sister Wendy began her career with Price Waterhouse Cooper. She also is the owner and chief executive officer of business consulting firm named the John Edwards Group. Her list includes clients, but not limited to, the Department of Treasury, Office of Financial Stability, the Obama Administration TARP Fund, Berkshire Hathaway, brother and sister, that's Warren Buffett's company, Berkshire Hathaway, CNA Insurance, AIG Insurance, Citizens Water Resources, the City of Chicago, Cook County Hospital, Atlantic Records, and numerous national celebrities and corporate executives. Sister Wendy is an effective leader with exemplary management, organizational and strategic thinking skills, and a proven record of accomplishments in initiating and managing change, project management, process improvements, thought leadership, contract negotiation, financial reporting, auditing, and internal control analysis and review. Now, her motto is that old business models no longer work. Sister Wendy holds a dual degree, a BBA in finance and accounting from Iowa State University, and numerous business certificates and accomplishments in the area of finance, accounting, and business. Sister Wendy is also a certified emotional intelligence coach. Lord knows that I need that. We probably all do. And there's much, much more. So without further ado, we want to welcome our sister, Sister Wendy Muhammad, to the BWE Live Google Hangout, the very first sister to join us on this platform as a guest. We want to welcome you, sister, and we want to tell you thank you so very much for being our guest. Assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum salam, sir. Thank you so much for that wonderful, wonderful introduction. I hate the fact that I can't see you. I can see Brother Jesse really well. He's all clear with that orange background. Wow, this is such an honor. I'm so overwhelmed and actually nervous because, you know, this is the group, the precious pearls that, you know, follow our leader. And, you know, it's just an honor to be able to be here and to be in the presence of you brothers who are just, you all are doing it. I'm sitting here listening to the Speakers Bureau and all kind of stuff, and my mind is rolling like, oh, we need a round table, we need this, we need that. And I mean, you guys are really, really sparking and dropping those jewels. You're really actually doing it. I hope you guys take a minute to be proud of yourself. Don't take too long, but just be proud of yourself and keep on going.
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you, sister. Thank you very much. We're happy to have you here with us so you can help in this mission.
Absolutely. It's a true honor.
All right, so tonight we're going to talk about, or you're going to talk about the mind of an entrepreneur. Why did you choose that subject? And go ahead and start sharing with the believers what it takes to have a mind of an entrepreneur.
Well, let me give you a little background on it. I started out, you know, in business relatively young, from doing little things with my brother, like making little comic booklets and selling them for $1, and, you know, watching my father with his horse breeding business and going to work with my mother. So I started off very early. I remember at about 7 or 8 years old wanting to own a hotel and an NBA team. That's so I could play my dad, since he played basketball. I was like, well, I should just own a team, and then you could play all you want, Dad. And a hotel and a number of different things. But then I went into college, got some really good technical knowledge. From a technical standpoint, whether it's programming or putting together detailed strategic plans. I got it. I learned it in school. I learned it in corporate America. I went into auditing and consulting, which is awesome because what happens there is that you're in and out of a lot of companies. You get to learn a lot of systems and a lot of processes and a lot of strategic planning. And you just get to put that pattern of business in your mind so that as you're developing and creating, you have some references. You got some good references. So once I spent some time working at our wonderful National Center, helping to put together events and really just tweaking the foundation that I really stand on today. That's a huge part of it. I can't say enough about that experience. But what I realized I was missing was that one day I had done all this work. I had sat down and I had helped a company with an $18 million, what they call tax to gap shortfall. And if they didn't get it fixed, they were going to end up having to remove themselves from the New York Stock Exchange. And I did that, and I fixed it, came up with a plan, met with the auditors, everything was fine, and saved the company. And they never said 2 words to me the next day. Now, I got paid for it, so I wasn't looking for a whole lot of recognition, but I said, if I'm doing this for everybody else, and I've been doing this for everybody else for a long time, building businesses, developing businesses across the world, I need to start doing something for myself. But what I realized was that there were some things missing. Number one was there were some mindset issues that I had to get over. I had to learn how to transition from that corporate mindset to an entrepreneur's mindset. I had to learn how to ask for money. I was afraid to say, hey, you owe me such and such per hour for providing this service for you. And here I am dressed up in my business suit. I'm this big time businesswoman, but I started seeing gaps in my mindset that I felt was holding me back. So I started to develop this program, and I'm glad to see that you guys are going to look at that book really carefully, Science of Getting Rich by Wallace D. Wattles, because I did a whole seminar on that. And I have another book that I'll recommend to you guys. I'll email it to you. I won't leak it now, but there's lots of great books out there that you can use so that you can start to get your mind together. I'm going to cover today, and forgive me for looking down. I just have some notes here. We're going to talk about 3 main areas. There's a lot of areas to the mind of the entrepreneur, and I'm working on a book right now as we speak that's going to have a lot of those different areas in it, and we'll kind of follow up with that with a seminar and things like that. But in order for me to learn how to go from the corporate world with multi-million-dollar projects to my own business and develop that into a multi-million-dollar company, I had to come up with a few things that I knew I needed to work on. One, of course, is emotional intelligence. I needed that so badly that I went and got certified for it, paid thousands of dollars, and studied it really, really deeply for about 5 or 6 years before I started teaching it. I'm one of those persons. I don't believe in people jumping out here saying that they're coaches and they don't have and they're not a subject matter expert on what it is they're coaching about. So I got out there, I learned, took a couple classes online, in person, and really dug into the science of emotional intelligence. And I'm going to talk about that a little bit. Also, just the pure psychology of money, because we've got some money issues in our community that we have to get over in terms of how we see money, what we think about money, what kind of emotional response does money elicit in us. So we have to talk about that. And then lastly, authenticity. And that's another big one that as I was going around consulting, I noticed that a lot of us as African Americans are all in the same businesses. A lot of it is because a lot of us aren't authentic. You brothers are sitting here talking about how authentic you are. You're showing me, all the different programs you're coming up from that are coming out of your thought processes. So what that means is that you're authentic. What happens to us a lot of times in our community is that we often tend to just go into the same business that we see our brothers and sisters going into. And while sometimes that works and sometimes that's okay, one thing that we need to focus on is, what did you show up on the planet to do? What are you here for? What are you born to do? What business and what way in which can you sustain yourself based on the premise of who and what you really are. Because that's the only way you're going to really make the money. You got to be able to get up and go to work every day, even if it's your own company, and be yourself. Sometimes that means that we got to do some work on ourselves so that we can be the person that we need to be in order to attract what it is that we want. So it's one thing for us to say what we want, but we got to put in the spiritual work that extends beyond some of the general things that we may learn as Muslims. We got to dig in deep. I got this problem. I got a problem with money. I'm afraid of it. It makes me nervous. So let's talk a little bit about the psychology of money and just a little bit about how you kind of break out of, first of all, how you identify what your psychology is. And what I mean by psychology is that for everything that you do, there's a thought process around it. You hear the minister talk about this all the time, especially in our study guides. There's a thought process around what it is that we do. So if you're putting on makeup in the morning or you're brushing your teeth, there's a reason that you're doing that. You're thinking about something. You're having a conversation with yourself about that particular thing that you're getting ready to do. So what conversations do you have with yourself about money? Or do you even have any conversations? Maybe it's just all stuff you heard about growing up. And one of the things I did, I was traveling with a client, and I was sitting in my hotel room one evening, and I said, you know what? Let me just write down my psychology of money. And so I encourage everybody to do this. What did I do? What are some of the things? Let's go all the way back to when we were children. I wasn't from one of those families where my parents said money don't grow on trees. But my grandmother used to say things to us like, we'd say, Mom, can we go out? We'd call my grandmother Mom. Mom, can we go outside or go skating with our friends? And she said, you ain't got no friends. The friends is them dollars in your pocket. Well, we might laugh, but you hear that long enough, that becomes your money psychology. My dad would tell us, don't beg. It makes folks hate you. What does that do? That goes into your money psychology. Did you see your parents struggling? Did you see people around you struggling? Did you see people spending money frivolously? What kinds of things did you see growing up? And you have to write that down and go down the list and tackle each and every one of those things. One of the things for me was that I felt like as I was struggling with my business that if I didn't have any money and if I wasn't able to generate any money from this, then something. So now I started to develop this pattern of unworthiness where maybe, I'm good at this, but maybe I'm really not worthy of being a millionaire. Maybe I really shouldn't have this. So while I'm talking, to people that I know, and I'm talking about business, and I'm talking about how successful I am, and I'm talking about what I can do, but on the other side, there's all these conversations that are going on in my head that are holding me back. So we won't spend a lot of time about how to go into those, and we may have to have some separate videos and conversations on how we uproot those types of things and think about, opposing thoughts that'll help us. But what I will say is this, is that once I got that together in my head and really started to attack that and see money differently, and instead of sitting around saying, man, okay, how am I going to get that website built? I don't have any money. How am I going to get the money? I already owe so-and-so. I don't have any money. I don't know what to do. I don't want people looking at me funny if I'm asking for money. And then I'm praying to Allah. Okay, Allah, I'm doing all the right things. I'm not a bad person. How come you can't bless me? I got this whole negative thing going on. And one day I sat in my bedroom and I looked around. I just kind of started thinking about my house. And I got great paintings on the wall that I bought. Came up with the money from it from somewhere, right? Got furniture. It's not cheap. We don't do things cheap, right? It's not cheap. Got big 72-inch screens. And I started thinking, I'm generating money. Money's flowing through me. So maybe what I need to do is focus on where that money goes. What mindset am I in when I'm attracting that money to myself? So those are the kind of things that we have to think about. And what I will say is that when I started to tackle that stuff and I really started to overcome that, my businesses just started popping overnight. just started popping overnight. Next thing you know, I started attracting the right people. Everything just started clicking because my mind was right. My choice of words were right because they weren't coming out of a mindset where the psychosis about money was just chaotic. It was organized. I knew Allah would take care of me. There's no reason for him not to. He didn't bring us into this world to just say, okay, now I'm getting ready to dog you out. You're not going to be able to do for self. You got to be able to do for self. Otherwise, how else are you going to, express his mission? How are you going to go out and do what it is that you need to do if you can't sustain yourself? That's a birthright, in my opinion. So that's how I took it. It's my birthright to be a millionaire. Why? Because I got too much stuff to do. I ain't got time to be worried about money. So as with my different partners, we started building businesses, and I started bringing this mindset to the table. Next thing you know, the businesses were going from $50,000 to $5,000. To 500,000 to $1 million to $5 million, and things were just clicking. Deals were closing. But it started here. It started with putting the right things together. Let's talk about something else that was critical, and that was emotional intelligence. Emotions are the one thing that for us, especially in our community, that make and break us. They cause disease. They cause loss. They cause all kinds of problems because we don't know how to handle our emotions. Luckily, emotional intelligence is something that you can improve on quickly. Now, when I say emotional intelligence, most people think I'm talking about just controlling your emotions. And I'm not talking about just controlling your emotions. That's important. But I'm going to give you kind of the 5 quick key points on emotional intelligence just to kind of get those wheels turning so you can understand how vast the science is and how important it is as it relates to choices that you make. 2 things that are really critical for emotional intelligent people is what choices do I make and what emotional state am I in when I make those choices, okay, good and bad choices, and how do I change my emotional state so that I'm in a productive state and I can produce the right type of results. I used to practice this at my clients. What happens a lot of times, you guys, when you're in consulting and strategic planning and crisis management, kind of like the corporate Olivia Pope type of stuff, when you're in that kind of mode, you get problems that you've never seen before. All of a sudden, they start asking you to look into something, and you're like, oh, wow, I haven't looked at this type of thing in years, or I have no idea. But what I started practicing was emotional intelligence. So instead of panicking, instead of worrying, and I said, I know I can get this answer because I know who I represent. I know I can be the subject matter expert for this client. I don't care what race they are, black, white. They started talking about me in the corporate world and say, that's the cleanup woman. You got a problem, something going on, you need a strategy, you got people quitting the company, you need to look at what the mindsets are of the company, you need some quality improvement, call Wendy. And so I would partner with these different consulting firms, and they would be filled with people, rooms full of very educated, technically savvy people who were scared. They were afraid. And I learned that when I didn't bring that fear to the table, I had all the answers. And then those answers began to translate into contracts and improvements and things like that. So that's the reason why I can list those companies on my portfolio, because I actually went there and was able to make a difference at those places. So let's talk about the 5 tenets of emotional intelligence. The first one is self-regulation. How do you regulate? That's not the first one, but that's just the first one I'm going to talk about. How do you regulate your emotions? How do you deal with what's going on inside of you? Do you have those moments where you just break down, or somebody says something to you and it sets you off? You ever got so mad that you went off and you don't even remember what you said? Don't try to act like you don't know what I'm talking about. The next one,
yes,
I call
yes,
it. The next one is self-awareness. And I call this the mother of emotional intelligence, because the first thing is to be aware. Be aware of your emotional state. How do you wake up in the morning? You wake up kind of sad? Do you wake up worried? Are you upset? Are you tired? What are you doing emotionally to yourselves? What kind of conversations? And then what kind of conversations do you need to have with yourself in order to put yourself in that state of mind that you know you need to be in order to get the results that you want? So it's all about being who you know you need to be in order to attract what you want. Okay? You can't attract world-class clients and abundance of clients if you're not the person that they want, that they deserve to be attracted to. It's all divine. It's all spiritual. It's all born out of that. That is why when we see our beloved Minister Farrakhan go out and speak, we are drawn to him like a magnet. We're there. We fill the auditorium. Why? Because he's worthy of our presence. And so the excellence that he uses and the integrity that he uses when he's talking, and just the overall hospitality, if you will, that he expresses, I take that into my business as well, whether it's healthcare. You know, you come to one of our surgery centers, you're going to feel like, an executive, luxury person. This is going to be a luxury experience. It might be surgery, but you're going to feel good about it because we're going to treat you like a king or queen, or the way we would want our mothers or fathers. When my clients come to me and people call me and they say, hey, I got a problem, Wendy. I have this issue. That's how I treat them, like I would want to be treated. And that's the excellence that the Honorable Elijah Muhammad and the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan are talking about when they talk about us moving forward and getting rid of some of the barriers that we face. Okay, let me go back to the next one is internal motivation. Okay, how are you internally motivated? You need somebody else to motivate you in the morning. You need your wife to motivate you, your husband. Do you have to get mad in order to get motivated? Do you need someone to tell you that you can't do it in order to be motivated? What are some of those things that are moving you? And those are private moments you have to have with yourself. What internally motivates me? Do you look down at your children and say, okay, now I'm motivated? While all those things might be good, the motivation has to come from here. You got to be able to find your connection with yourself, which is the connection to Allah, which is really what you get through submission and submitting to Allah. And once you begin to do that and quiet your mind and submit and go down that road, all of a sudden you're internally motivated. You don't need anybody. Nobody has to like you. Because when you're in business, sometimes you start doing good, folks don't like you. Especially a lot of our folks. They may say they're happy, but they may not treat you too good. You may have people of other races that treat you bad. You're going to go through some stuff. So you got to learn how to get that connection to Almighty God Allah and self-motivate yourself. You got to find it somewhere. If you're a wounded soldier, you just got to start crawling and look for your inspiration. Because is it going to be easy? Probably not. More than likely, especially the way we think and the way we're taught, and with all this new knowledge that we're getting knowledge that has never been dispensed to people in the world. So we got new ideas. We got things that we're bringing forth that no one has ever even thought about. We have a way of thinking and a pattern of thinking that is so new and so fresh and so different. It's amazing that you came up with that Speakers Bureau idea after hearing the minister say, I want that desire. Because who would have thought about it? Who would have thought of that? And I could go on and on about that, but it's just the teachings take and transform your mind and open you up to a whole new world of thinking and a whole new way of doing. I don't care what field you're in. You can make yourself so different from your competitors that should be your internal motivation. Okay, how can I express today? I ask Allah every morning, I say, how do you want me to be your conduit today? How do you want me to serve? And my biggest prayer is, I want to be a conduit. So if there's something that Allah says that He wants expressed, if there's a mannerism in which He wants something to be done, if there's a way in which he wants something to look like. I ask him, give it to me, I'll do it for you. And just submit to that whole overall process. But you got to be in tune to start doing some of that kind of stuff, and you have to be self-motivated. Okay, so the next one we're going to talk about is empathy. Empathy, we all know, what that means, but really what it means is recognizing the emotional state of the other person that you're working with and understanding how to manage that. Because being in business and about negotiating is all about both sides winning. You get what you want, they get what they want. You find a way to make it happen. And as long as both sides are playing fairly, you should be able to get it done. And so the key thing with that is understanding, because a lot of times clients will not express themselves fully. Sometimes they're not going to be as developed as we are, spiritually developed. So they may not tell you exactly what they really want. So a lot of times you sit down, especially if you're providing a service, you'll sit down in front of a client and you get this a lot with a lot of corporate clients. I won't say it's a lot there, but it does happen. You sit down in front of them and they don't really know what they want. They don't know what to say to you. They don't know what they want to ask you. And so you got to be able to see what kind of emotional state are they in? What words are you using that are triggering certain things? It also helps you to tweak your language. Because I may not make the same presentation to you, Brother Jesse, that I may make to Brother Darrell.
Right.
Because when I sit down and talk to Brother Darrell, I'm in tune with Brother Darrell and I understand what Brother Darrell needs. Now when I come over here to Brother Jesse, it may be the same content, but I may need to deliver that differently. So therefore, I have to be in tune with you. I got to do some studying. Being an entrepreneur is not about being lazy. You need to know who your clients are. If you're moving to a new city or you're going into a new city, what's the mindset of the people in that city? Who's the competitors? Who's done it before? So while empathy sounds like it's a small word, and we may just be talking about understanding the compassion of others, but we're talking about understanding everything outside of us overall. Okay? And the last one is social skills. Sometimes, and this one sometimes can be a challenge for us as spiritual people, because we sometimes are afraid to socially interact with people who might be considered outside of our group. What happens is you're going to limit yourself. See, my grandmother taught us growing up is that being a mystery, this is when we used to be on our little teen lines on the phone, just calling up all our friends, and she said, stop calling them so much. Try to be a mystery. And so what we're doing when we come to the table, we got the last name Muhammad. And they know somewhere in that spiritual lineage is all these great people that they've heard about, that maybe they've been afraid to pick up a book and learn about. Maybe they've been curious. Maybe they've heard about the people that follow the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan, but they've never seen one. We're like a little alien. They're like, I want to see how they are. Who are they? I see a certain type of black man on television, but then I'm looking at this brother that follows this great person. What am I looking at? That's huge. So now we have to be willing to share of ourselves. We have to be able, part of the hook is letting them feel your spirit. See, because if Master Fard Muhammad and the Honorable Elijah Muhammad and the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan are flowing through you, you're going to be a magnet for any and everybody. Even if they don't want to like you, even if they don't want your product, even if they wish they never met you, you're going to be a magnet. So when you maintain that state of being a conduit, a state of allowing them to use you, then what happens is it's okay to socialize. So if they say, hey, we're having a dinner meeting, even if you're fasting, you can go to the meeting, have some water. Tell them that you're fasting. It's okay. You don't have to hide. Well, I don't want them to know it's Ramadan. you know, I don't want to say nothing, or I don't want them to know that I eat every other day, or that's a conversation piece, right? You can talk about that. You can say that if they say, well, you know, you wear some cute clothes, but, you know, why are you dressed like that? That's a good conversation piece. That makes you interesting, because what companies are looking for today is people who think outside the box. Most companies are not looking for, let me say it this way. The day and age when we were all part of that manufacturing environment and we all went to work and we did the same thing, we made widgets or whatever, and it was on this, we were on the assembly line. Those days are over. Companies nowadays know that if they don't get thinkers in their organizations, they're going to lose. And that's the bottom line. And most companies are getting to the point where they don't care what the thinkers look like. They just want thinkers. They want thought leaders. They want people who are going to help them get to that next level, because they don't have the knowledge to get themselves to the next level. They need you and I to get them to the next level. We hold the key to that next level. And so that's what they're looking for. So when we go there and our demeanor is appropriate and we can socially mingle, there are going to be things that people in other cultures and from other areas are going to do that we don't do. And that's okay. You can quietly excuse yourself. But it doesn't mean that you can't have friends and you can't make friends and you can't go out and attract people to this wonderful word that we've been blessed by. Okay, so that's talking about the social skills, okay? Lastly, really quick, I can feel Brother Daryl saying, how much time? Okay, that's 23 minutes. I can feel Brother Daryl urging me on from Cancun. Okay.
No, ma'am, I'm taking notes. I'm taking notes.
Okay. Let's talk a little bit about authenticity. Okay.
Like they say in the church, Sister Wendy, you're talking to me. You're talking to me.
What'd you say, Brother Daryl?
I said, like they say in the church, you talking to me. You talking to me.
Oh, okay. You getting some pebbles on your forehead, Brother Daryl?
Yes, ma'am. Keep on flowing. Keep on flowing. It's just me and you out here. Just me and you and Brother Jesse.
Let's talk a little bit about authenticity, okay? And really, this boils down to figuring out who you are and being yourself. Okay, we know that's a big premise, you know, in the nation, us being ourselves. But most of us don't know who that is. We could talk about it theoretically. We could come up out the message to the black man about it. But who are you really? Because guess what? If you do not use what you came here to do, pretty soon your body, your mind is going to rebel against you. You're not going to be happy. You're not going to be able to do what you're supposed to do. You're not going to feel good. You know how good you feel when you're laughing with somebody or you're doing something that you know you're supposed to be doing? That's the state you want to be able to take yourself in every time you get ready to make a big decision. You want to go right back to that state. What conversations do I need to do? What do I need to have to take myself back to that state of mind that I was in? I accomplished whatever it was that I accomplished at that time. Okay? Then you can start to then build on that and create additional states and figure out, you know, what it is that you need to do. As you guys were sitting here talking, I was putting myself in the right state of mind. I was asking Allah, speak to me. I don't know what you want me to talk about. I got this little outline here, but is it something that somebody needs to hear that maybe I can help? You know, we've all been truly blessed. I've been so tremendously blessed that a lot of people tell me I don't talk about it enough. You know, they say, Wendy, you don't talk about your businesses. I don't put out, you know, how much the businesses are made. But all those blessings come from striving to be authentic. And I created what I call the authenticity movement. And I'll tell you the origin of that. The origin was because when we were children growing up in our household, my mother would not allow us to be followers. So you know how when you're little, you come to your mom and you say, Mom, so-and-so want to know, can I go skating? You know what I'm talking about? Well, In our household,
Yes,
you got a
ma'am.
whooping for that. Yeah, in our household, you got a whooping for that. You got a whooping for being a follower. If you did something and you made a mistake, if you told my mother that you did it because Brother Jesse did it, you got a whooping. That belt was coming. Some people nowadays don't believe in it, but you know, we got it. Okay. So with that, even sometimes I look back on childhood pictures. The other day my mom was sending me some pictures, and I said, Mom, why did you let me dress like that? She said, I was just letting you be yourself. Well, as I start to roll that forward, I found myself, you know, in the corporate world, before I was blessed to join the nation, kind of becoming a robot, where you know, you dress the way everybody else dressed, you start to talk the way everybody else talked, you start to try to live where everybody else lived, and I was on my way to becoming probably a very great person in corporate America, and maybe even great in government, but I was not going to be myself. So once I started to figure out who I was and how I wanted to be, my own authentic ideas started to pop up. I started to be myself. I heard Oprah say the other day that had she known that being herself would have made her so successful, she'd have done it a long time ago. It's about being yourself. Who are you? What did you show up on the planet to do? And I take my students through a series of exercises to help them to discover, who are they? The first thing we have to do is we have to stop competing against each other. That has to stop being a motivation. So if I go to Brother Daryl's website and I see his website and I look at it, if I'm finding sparks of jealousy up in me saying, well, I want to do that, and so I make my website just like Brother Daryl's or Brother Jesse, well, I'm not really being authentic. I can take that format and I can learn from what he does, and I can learn that outline, but I got to put my own flavor and my own swag on it. That makes sense?
Ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Y'all can give me some feedback. I know y'all writing and I'm rambling, but I really want to get this point across about authenticity, because we have a huge habit in our community of just copying off the next person. And this is something that we have to stop. I'm not saying that if you have the same interest as somebody else that you guys can't collaborate, but find your own way to do it. Find your own twist. What can you do differently to take what it is that you do to that next level? You don't want to do it just exactly the same way Sister Wendy does it, because that's Sister Wendy's way. Sister Wendy's way was developed by all the life experiences that she has, so she created her own way of doing it, her own thoughts. And so you have the same rich life. The Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan says that we all have a life. I think he said something like we could write a best-selling book, each and every one of us.
Mm-hmm.
So get into your story, and don't be afraid to tell your story. Don't be afraid to say why it is that you do what you do. Tell your story. That is the only place where you're going to stand out. That's where your power is. And so, because so many of us are just afraid to be authentic, I thought it important to start teaching emerging leaders and entrepreneurs how to be authentic. So any questions over those three topics that the first sister on the Black Wealth Empowerment had to give you guys this afternoon?
All right, man, that was good, Sister Wendy. That was very, very good. I don't want you to stop. I mean,
praise be to Allah.
You know, that was, I mean, just the authentic part by itself was powerful.
Wow.
You know, I'm just sitting here just thinking, and my brain is spinning, and I'm just like, wow, I need to do the intelligent thing. All this other stuff I'm doing, I need to get on the emotional intelligent tip, because I'm probably lacking in that area.
Let me tell you, Brother Daryl, just studying emotional intelligence alone will probably double or quadruple your business.
Man. Wow.
Expound on that, Sister Wendy. Why would you say that? That's a mouthful, and I know you're not just quoting somebody.
No,
Just
no.
expound on that for us.
I'm telling you from experiences from different people that I've worked with, family members that I've shared it with. And what it is that you start to pay attention to your choices. You start to understand what are your triggers. What some of us are dealing with a lot of fear. We're just really nervous. We're really afraid. We think that people don't like us. We think that nobody's going to like us. We think that people aren't going to find us attractive. We think that because we're Muhammad that nobody's going to like us and the devil's going to come down and crush our business and all that. That's not going to happen. It's not going to happen. Now, will you have to be strategic when you get up into certain levels? Absolutely. I spend a lot of time dealing with strategies because I got some big folks coming at me and trying to challenge me and maybe even trying to shut the businesses down. Who knows? But they're not going to win. So you got to get over some of those fears. Sometimes we're afraid to do certain things because maybe we failed in the past. You're going to have obstacles. Maybe we're just afraid of the obstacles. Maybe we don't know how to fight it. Maybe we just say, I just want to be peaceful. I don't want to be bothered with all that. Well, you're going to have to be bothered with it as an entrepreneur. You're going to have to be bothered with the drama. You're going to have to be bothered with making mistakes. You're going to have to be bothered with going into business with the wrong people. You're going to have to be bothered with folks talking about you. You're going to have to be bothered with folks begging. You're going to have to be bothered with folks stealing from you. You're going to have to be bothered with it. But you have to come up with your own non-emotional way of dealing with it. It is what it is. You're going to have to be bothered with it, but it's okay. So when I say that your business will quadruple and even double, if you will, I'll start with double, but overnight is the honest to God's truth. And the reason being is because it's going to change your choices. Because now, if you're aware, if you got to do a big presentation tomorrow, maybe you need to get up in the morning and you set a goal for yourself. And you say, I need to go to 100 households this morning and present my product to 100 households. You may not make it to 100 households because you're scared to go to 100 households. You go to the ones that look friendly. You go to the ones that maybe you know somebody, but you're scared, so you don't hit that goal of 100 households. You're scared, so you don't think of that new way, and when you go up, you're not talking about the things you need to talk to. You may say, you know what, I got $50,000 that people out here owe me, and I need to collect. So that means I need to make 1,000 phone calls. And I'm going to make those 1,000 phone calls. It's going to take me 2 months. And based on the aging of my receivables, I'm going to get through them in 2 months. But you don't call them because you're scared to ask them for the money because you don't feel like nobody deserves to pay you in the first place. You don't deserve the money in the first place. So that's what emotional intelligence will help you with.
Wow.
That's what it'll help you with. You're afraid to really make the teachings real. It's a classroom thing for you. You like going to the mosque and it's a classroom. You like taking the notes, but then when it comes down to how you're really supposed to treat your brother or your sister, or when it comes down to how you should be treating a client, how you should serve, you're scared. Scared to make the phone call. Scared to have the conversation. Scared to get up and walk down that street that maybe if you go down that street, it might be 10 clients down there. You're scared. So emotional intelligence is going to help you, number one, be aware of what it is.
Sister Wendy, what would you say?
What'd you say, Brother Darrell? Brother Jesse, did Brother Darrell say something?
He did. I see his picture back. Now we lost his volume.
I know. I see his picture too.
You're moving now, Brother Darrell, but we can't hear you. It's like the movie Friday.
Oh, yeah. I was just about that. Can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
Yep. We hear you now.
Sister Wendy, what are some good first steps that we can take? I mean, for some of us now, I have a book that I bought and kind of went through, didn't really finish it or anything like that. I think it's called Emotional Intelligence 2.0. But what can we do who have never really started down that road of emotional intelligence? What are some good baby steps we can take?
I think the main step, I talked earlier about awareness being the mother of emotional intelligence. So you want to start by being aware. Slow yourself down, Brother Darrell, and just be aware and say, okay, how am I feeling? Let's say you get ready to go and make a big presentation. Ask yourself, how am I feeling? Ask yourself, who elicits certain emotions in my life? I'm the kind of person, if there's anybody that's eliciting a whole lot of negative emotions in my life, I get rid of them. And if they're family members, I just give them a little distance. Sometimes you need that motivation. Sometimes you're afraid inside of yourself, and so I may have to call my mother on the way to a client. Let me call my mother up because I know she's going to pump me up. But the first thing you can do, Brother Darrell, is to be aware. Okay? Once you become aware, your brain is going to tell you what you need to do. The first thing is awareness. The second thing is then to begin to regulate and control yourself. Doesn't mean that you don't want to have emotions. You want the emotions because the emotions is the spiritual way that things are being communicated to you. So as you feel those emotions, say, uh-oh, wait a minute. The universe is trying to say something to me. Allah is talking to me. So be aware. That's the first thing. The second thing then is to begin to start to take a look at your choices and your decisions. Are you making certain choices that you make? Are you making those choices to stay safe? Are you making those choices because you're afraid? Are you making those choices because you're worried about what somebody else is going to say? So you want to start some dialogue with yourself around your choices. Why are you making the choices that you're making? And then the next thing is, and a lot of times for us as women in business, we're really conscious of this and that. Be conscious of what the other person is feeling and thinking. And that can be done for a number of different reasons. If it's because I need you to hurry up and sign this contract, I need to be paying attention. It might be because that may mean I need to back off of you from a sales standpoint because you're going through something. It really just kind of depends. Does that help, Brother Darrell?
Oh, good. Yeah, that's real good. Oh, yes, ma'am. I can follow 3 simple steps. Thank you so very much, Sister Wendy. Brother Jesse, we have any questions coming from our members in the private exclusive Facebook group?
Well, unfortunately, but fortunately, brothers and sisters inside of the Elusive Exclusive Facebook group, Sister Wendy, they're saying that you have touched and pricked our minds so much that everybody literally is saying that they don't have a question because you have answered many of the problems that most of us are facing in feeling and doing our businesses and achieving. So we don't have a question. We just have a page full of reflections right now of people that are saying they're blown away. All praises to Allah.
You know, let me chime in on that because whenever you start to talk about emotional intelligence, it's one of those subjects that if you're doing public speaking, you want to be careful of if you're the type of person that needs some feedback because people usually immediately go into their heads. And rarely will you have, any questions. All of a sudden, everybody's just thinking, okay, what was I thinking about when I did this? I mean, we all have made mistakes where we thought to ourselves, what in the world, what mindset was I in when I made that mistake? And so this is all about evolution. We hear our leader talk about how he's evolved. He's not the same person that he was yesterday. And so each of us should be that way. Each of us should think about evolving and evolution. When we look in the mirror today at 8:41 p.m., we shouldn't be the same person that we were at 8:41 a.m. We want to be moving. We want to be evolving. I call it spiritual labor. You got to put in the spiritual labor and do the spiritual work in order to have the things that you say you want to have. It's not enough just to say you want it. You got to put the work in. So it's a lot of work. It's easy. It's real easy to just go get a job and just go to work and look at what they tell you to do and just do what they tell you to do and come on home. When you start going down this road of being an entrepreneur, there's self-improvement, there's spiritual improvement, there's your technical improvement. You got to learn how to sell.
Come on.
You know, you got to learn how to be authentic. You got to learn how to reinvent yourself. Because the minute that you created this Hangout platform, somebody else got one just like it. You better believe it. Somebody's going to copy off of you, and somebody's doing the same thing. So now you got to take Black Wealth Empowerment Hangout to the next level. So they can't even keep up with you. But you got a steady stream coming from the universe, coming from Almighty God Allah. You got a steady stream. So they can't keep up with you, especially if you stay authentic. And think of it is as a way of keeping your radio in tune, just staying right there where you need to be. You're going to get off a little bit. You know, like the minister talks about, your wobble might go a little wide some days where you might get tired. But there's a whole slew of things that we have to do as entrepreneurs. We have to take care of our health. Why? Because we can't focus if we're unhealthy. It's very difficult to build a business if you don't feel good, if you are in a state of dis-ease. And so if we find ourselves struggling sometimes with health issues like, why does my stomach hurt every once in a while? Why does my head hurt? We have to be like scientists on our own body and figure out what are we doing mentally that's creating that state of dis-ease. Take all the medicine we want. Medicine might be necessary, but what is it? What are we connected to that's creating this state of mind? So we have to take care of our health. We have to work out. We got to meditate and pray. We got to be the first ones to the prayer rug.
Come on now.
We got to be the first ones to the prayer rug. More than the mandatory times a day. I say to Allah, just as I breathe, just let that be a prayer.
That's right.
We got to work to overcome challenges. I'll tell you guys real quick. This is a funny story. I had a funny challenge. I think it was about 2 weeks ago. I drove up to Baltimore from D.C. to meet with a group of attorneys about some work that we're doing with the surgery center and some of our expansions. And I needed an attorney because some of the commissions don't only speak to attorneys. So the weather forecast is bad. It's a thunderstorm. It's raining really hard. So as I'm pulling up to what I think is the building, I asked this guy in a uniform. I said, "Hey, excuse me, is this such and such address?" He said, "Oh yeah, sister." It was a brother. God bless him. He said, "Oh yeah, sister, go down in that garage right there and park right there. And then all you got to do, you ain't even got to come back outside. Just come right on up to the elevator." I said, "Okay, good." You know, I'm driving. I'm like, "Oh, Lord, thank you. You know, this worked out. It's raining. I ain't even got to go outside." I go in, I get the elevator, and I go up to that floor where they tell me to go. And they're like, "You in the wrong building." I'm like, "Okay, what building is it?" It's that building, which is across the street. But across the street is 4-lane, one-way street. So it's pretty wide. So I got to get out to the sidewalk, across the street. It's right there. But it's a nice little hike. Out of this building, down the sidewalk, across the 4 lanes, up the stairs, and finally to that building. And it is pouring down, raining. Do you hear me? So I look, I see a Walgreens that's inside this building. I go and I buy this little cheap, this is what I get for being cheap, buy this little $1.99 umbrella. When I step outside the building, the water is at my ankles. So I just messed my heels up.
Ooh, man.
I pushed the umbrella up, and the umbrella just took off. Now I ain't got no umbrella. Okay? I should forget it. I just, you know, look, I'm a vanguard. So I ran on across the street, up the stairs, you know, running up all them stairs. I remember counting them, 26 stairs. I get inside, I'm drenched. My hair looking like a Jerry curl. And the girl at the front desk, it's so funny because some of our, white colleagues, they don't really understand the hair game that much. So the white people were just like, oh, hi. They just probably think I'm a little greasy and maybe my hair is just, but the black people were looking like, oh my God. So I asked the brother at the desk and the brother and sister at the desk, I said, look, tell me where to go, but please just direct me to the bathroom. And there was a side of me that was saying, Wendy, you should just cancel. Shouldn't go to this. You don't have time. And these attorneys, it's hard to get a meeting with them. And people are like, look, if you can get them to represent you, your project is going to sell. So I don't want to cancel this meeting. This is almost like closing the deal. So I go in the bathroom, and I have paper towels, and my clothes are completely wet. When I have about 10 minutes left, I go in the conference room, and I stand over the vent, because they ain't in there yet, just to kind of dry myself off a little bit, just so I don't wet up their chairs, as I'm sitting there. So finally they come in the room. I do my whole full-fledged presentation. They had no idea that I was drenched. No idea that I'm sitting here in wet clothes, wet shoes. Don't even want to move my feet because I can hear it sloshing. They have no idea. And they're looking at me, they say, wow. They're like, wow, Ms. Muhammad, we're so excited. We want to work with you. Oh, we cannot wait. And they just go on and on and on. So finally I explained to them that I was wet. And they were like, you don't look wet up to us. And they ran out and, got me an umbrella and all this stuff. Even my papers that I had that I was going to present to them with were wet. So all the ink had run on it. So I had to come from here on my presentation. So had I not been prepared, I would have been messed up. But I didn't cancel. They agreed to come on board, basically close the deal. But I had to get through some things mentally in order to do that. I couldn't be like, oh, Allah, why is this happening? Oh, Lord, have mercy. They done made it rain on me. I'm scared. I said, oh, no. I'm going in here. I'm closing this. I'm closing this because ain't nobody else going to do this. They're going to go back home. I'm not going back home. That's part of being emotional intelligent.
Wow.
Yes, so that's because that a lot of turn.
Brother Jesse, can you understand him?
Now, Brother Dad, you coming through like a robot.
I've said that no. I said a lot of people would have turned around on that one, Sister Wendy. So that's a very good example. What it takes to have emotional.
I think his audio is freezing up on him.
Yeah, I saw it freezing on my end, but I'm back now. But I was just saying, Sister Wendy, that was a good example of what it means to have emotional intelligence.
Right. That's what I mean when I say that emotional intelligence will affect those choices. Because in that moment, there was no emotional choice for me to go back and say, oh, I'm scared, or oh, forget this, or let me just be defeated, or say, maybe it ain't meant for me to go to this meeting. No, I'm going. That's what emotional intelligence will help you do, and that's what I mean when I say your business will change overnight. You start being aware, of those things emotionally. You could be getting emotional right now because your screen is freezing and your words are coming through garbled. Some people would get upset over that. And they be all upset. Don't mean that you can't have an emotion behind it. You could be saying, man, I really want to be able to connect with my brothers and sisters today, but I can't. That's okay. But I don't see you throwing the computer and, breaking a hole in the wall. Right.
No, man.
But you'd be surprised at how many people.
Not at all. Not doing that.
Right there?
Brother Jesse, can you hear me?
Okay, I hear you now.
Okay, go ahead. Since I'm having, I don't know, and since I'm fading in and out, Brother Jesse, go ahead and and I'll just jump in as I can based on my technology here.
All right. Okay, Sister Wendy, can you hear me?
I sure can.
Okay, so we had 3 questions that came in. 2 of them we kind of can put together, and then we have one that one person asked, which I'm pretty sure Brother Darrell is going to announce at the end. But 2 sisters, Sister Marva and Sister Diana, out of the Facebook group, they wanted to know, are there any recommended books that outline and discuss emotional intelligence and money psychology that you can recommend that we read?
So emotional intelligence, I studied Daniel Goodman. And so the courses that I've taken follow him in terms, he's kind of like the founder of the modern science of emotional intelligence as well as social intelligence. And so if you go to Amazon and you put in Daniel Goodman, he's got quite a few books. He's also got some things on YouTube that you may want to get. But I think the real thing is get the book first so that you can get the foundation, you can kind of study it. And then that way when you go to YouTube, you start looking at those little excerpts and you'll get it. And then one thing you can start to practice is, like, sometimes I'll look at television or I'll look at things that happen in the public and I'll see if I can identify the emotions that are present when a person did certain things. That will kind of help you to start to remove yourself. Because when you can make decisions without so much emotion, you can get to the raw decision-making nuggets and the things that you really need to consider in order to make that decision. So you got to learn how to pull yourself out of it sometimes. But I would say get Daniel Goldman's books on emotional intelligence and social intelligence. As far as, and I'm going to have some seminars. If you guys go to my website and join my mailing group, it's www.wendymuhammad.com, and I'm going to teach some upcoming seminars on the mind of the entrepreneur, emotional intelligence, authenticity. I'm going to start working on that kind of thing. I have a book that's coming out that I'm working on now, so I've been a little bit lax on the seminars. And I think we're going to talk about a special promotion towards the end, so I'll save that. But those are the 2 things. As far as the psychology of money, there's not a lot out here in a book form, if you will, on the psychology of money. There are different people who teach it, but let me just say this to you. Those of us that know that we come out of this slave mentality that we're struggling to let go of, this whole Willie Lynch concept that governs and hovers over all of our lives, one of the things that is key is that we have to go inside of ourselves and say, what have I been taught about money? How do I think of money? I had a client say to me, well, my mother used to just tell us money don't grow on trees. And so that was always her thing. She was always afraid to let go of money. My dad used to tell us to save. So I was always into saving my pennies and, keeping my quarters and stuff up. I'm using those as examples, but understand and go through your own life and say, what has been my psychology on money? What was the first time that I remember having a concept of money? Some people will say, well, I used to get $20 every time I got an A in a class. Write that down. Some people would say, every time I asked for those new Jordans growing up, my mom said, no, we don't have money for Jordans. Write that down. Write all of those things down. Simple conversations, write them down. And then when you go back through those simple things that you're writing down, analyze them using your emotional intelligence skills. So this is why all this is interrelated. Okay? So when you go back and you look at the fact that your parents said money don't grow on trees, what emotion does that elicit in you? Because it may not be the concept anymore that's haunting you, but it's the emotion that you're carrying with you. So instead of going and showing that person that property and selling that property or closing that deal, you're stuck in this emotional state and you don't know why. It's probably because money is attached to that deal and your psychology is attached to money that you learned as a child.
Yeah.
So you got to break that down. It's not even that difficult, but it's just the awareness of it. So you see how we're combining the emotional intelligence with understanding our psychology around all of these things. What is your psychology around business? Some people were taught that folks who go into business for themselves are hustlers. And a lot of us don't know the difference between hustling and being an entrepreneur. So we say, I'm in business for myself, but we just going around hustling everybody. But there's a reason for that. Why? So you got to get your notebook out. Anybody who knows me knows I'm the notebook queen. I'm going to keep a note on how I'm feeling about this, what I'm working on. And so if you find yourself with all these emotional things that are keeping you in an unproductive state, the next question becomes, well, how do I get myself into a productive state? The easiest way to start turning that around is to get grateful. Remember I told you I was laying in the bed in my house and I started just being grateful for every little thing that was there? Brother Daryl could be saying, man, I ain't got no money. I got to get back. I got to do this and that. But you brought yourself to Cancun. You could do that. I'm talking to you on a computer that I bought. I bought that. You got a cell phone you pay for every month. You come up with that money, right? So what mindset is it that you're using that made you come up with that cell phone bill money versus the mindset that you're using that says, I can't start this business? What's the difference? That's what you got to figure out. That's where you got to put in the spiritual labor, and you got to go to work on yourself. You got to go to work on yourself. It's some hard work. It's just like when you join the nation for that first time, and they put that mirror up in front of you. Y'all remember that?
Right. Yep.
That virtual mirror that goes up in front of you, where you start really looking at some of the stuff that you're doing and going, okay, you mean I got to stop that? Well, I don't lie that much. You mean I can't lie? I don't do this. I don't drink that much. I can't have a beer. I can't even have a red stripe when I go to Jamaica. What? You know, so we start, it's the same thing. We've already been through it. So we got the muscle. You have the emotional intelligent muscle, especially if you've converted to Islam. You went from a slave mentality to a free mentality, and you're making that leap. You can make the leap into entrepreneurialism. Because just like you had to analyze yourself and clean yourself up, and you don't even look the same as you did before you accepted the teachings of the Honorable Elijah Muhammad, you're a whole new person. That's the same type of internal resurrection that has to happen in order for you to become an entrepreneur. And let me say one more thing before you go to the next question. Some people ask me, well, why is it for black people that it's got to be an internal revolution in order for us to just become entrepreneurs? Because we weren't taught that. We don't know what an entrepreneur is. All we know is get up, go to work, and do what somebody told us to do. Some of us have mastered that so well that we make a lot of money doing it. But for most of us, that's the extent of our knowledge around doing for self.
Right.
Yes.
Wow.
Wow. And
Yes, ma'am. I feel it. I feel it.
So
that was a good point you made, Sister Wendy, about the jump into the nation is the biggest jump. So this jump we can make as well. Yeah.
We can make this jump because we've already made a bigger jump. And I say a big jump because that jump made us to look at ourselves. Some of us had all kind of problems when we came into the nation, all kind of bad habits.
We'll do.
Some of us came in as so-called intellectuals, but we had other internal habits. So we all had to work on that stuff. Otherwise, we wouldn't still be talking about these teachings. So that same way you had to help let the teachings transform your mind, and you have to have some honest conversations with yourself. You have some conversations with Allah that don't nobody else know about. You got to do the same thing here. Same thing. Maybe in the past you've been a hustler, and maybe you haven't been handling things properly. Well, it's time to fix that. And once you fix it and you move on to that next level, you don't move back. Once you evolve, you keep evolving. You keep going. You keep taking that next step. You keep going and going and going.
Come on now.
Wow.
Let the Facebook church say amen. That's all I gotta say. The church is shouting. The last question. So the last question you answered in part. Brother Dow's gonna close with it. They wanted to know your website and the products that you have to offer, because the Elusive Exclusive Facebook group is on edge to support our sister tonight. And I think Brother Dow and you all was gonna talk about that. But thank you so much, sister. The comments and feedback. I have to say, Brother Dow, that this is the most comments from one of our speakers that I've seen during a broadcast, brother.
Oh, praise God.
Comments every minute consistently where people are posting these nuggets from Sister Wendy. So it's to let us know our sister's presence was definitely needed. Praise be to Allah.
All praise is due to Allah. Let me close with this thought.
Yes, sir. I was thinking this.
Brother Daryl.
Go ahead, sister.
Oh, okay. One thing I want to say that I didn't say is always remember, brothers and sisters, that thoughts are spiritual energy. Okay? At one point, everything around us was a thought.
Right.
Okay? So as you're thinking, remember, those thoughts become things. Whether they become things that manifest in your life and help you on that evolutionary path, whether they be things that manifest in your life that knock you down and take you away from where it is that you're trying to go. But understand that thinking is the process. And we have to become thinking people. And we put a lot of thought into gossip, what's going on Atlanta Housewives and, hip-hop, this and that, and Hollywood exes. We think about that. We think about Beyonce and her husband and her little son. We think about Chris Brown, but we don't think about ourselves. We have to think. We have to understand that all of this begins with a thought. Thoughts are spiritual energy. You can't go anywhere without the thought. So you working on a business, think about your business. Think on your business. You got the most powerful minds out here. Ain't nobody else cleaner than the Muslims.
That's right.
Right.
Ain't nobody practicing what we practice and doing what we're doing. Ain't nobody doing that.
Nobody.
We're blessed.
That's right.
Look at us. So if we put our minds to it, we can do whatever it is that we want to do. The sky's the limit. Nothing can stop us. Nothing can stop us. The minister don't have to worry another day about whether or not his work has been in vain. If we start thinking, that's all we got to do. It's just think on it. And that's what you guys are doing. That's what you are doing, brothers, as an example, and being thinking men and helping and attracting thinking women and other thinking men to your platform. It's all about thinking and thoughts. See, we got to take some of this burden off of our leader.
That's right.
Yes, ma'am.
That sounds good.
Yes, ma'am.
But we gotta lift some of this off of him. It's time to get this up off of him. It's enough of us. We old enough and we grown enough and we've been around these teachings long enough to be doing more.
Preach, preach.
And how do we get that burden up off of him? We got to go out in this world and be an example so that people will see us and say,
wow,
I want to be like that.
That's right.
I want to be like that brother. I want to be like that sister. I want to kind of learn what she's learned. Where'd she get it from? Well, guess what? Now the fish is coming to me. And my fish are black, white,
Wow.
Asians, Indians, Arabs, Egyptians, Africans. Not because I'm standing on a bucket down in the corner, on the corner in Chicago or on DC, but because I'm in the places where the minister can't be.
Right, right.
You see what I'm saying? I'm where he can't be. And so I'm that example. So when they come over to me, they can get an earful about him. I can, oh, let me direct you to the website. And that I'm talking about internationally. I think, Brother Daryl, I was telling you a story about how when I was in Italy and I was just being myself, which I try my best to make sure that I'm presenting those teachings properly, and the people treated me so well that I was embarrassed. But we gotta focus on. We gotta get some of this burden up off of him.
That's right.
And we do that by being an example. He done taught enough. If he don't speak another word.
Oh, now.
If he don't speak another word out of his mouth, if we never see him again, he has given us enough life.
Right.
For all of us to move forward and to be on Google Hangout as multi-millionaire wealthy people who are living the life and example.
Right. That's right.
Taught to us by our leader and teacher, and then guess what? Drawing more and more people. It's no reason for it. No reason for it. So we got to share. We got to move forward. And I don't get off of that, but I just want to say we got to consciously say, let me save some people. The minister been saving folks. Let me save some people.
Right.
Because he saved me.
Right. Right.
And I don't care how hard we work. We'll never catch up with him.
Right.
So let's stop opting out of society. Let's stop opting outside of society. Let's step outside of our circles and go out and take these teachings out. That don't necessarily mean you don't have to have you don't have to have a whole bag of message to the black man in your backpack. You don't have to pass them out. If you're in an environment where you can give away the books, that's fine. You might be in an environment where they might kick you out if you whip out the message to the black man, right? So if Allah bless you, you got that foot in the door, that means Allah's in the door. That means Minister Farrakhan's in the door. That means the Honorable Elijah Muhammad's in the door.
That's right.
That means those clients are looking in the face of Master Farad Muhammad.
Come on now.
Right?
That's right.
So we got to get out there. We got to get in those circles.
Yes, ma'am.
Allah's going to take care of us. We're not going to want for nothing. We're going to be okay.
That's
but we got to get out there. We get out our circles. We got to get out there. So anyway, I'm sorry, but y'all get me fired up. I can keep going. But join my mailing list. What'd you say, Brother Daryl? I'm sorry.
Wow. Thank God for the black woman.
All praise is due to Allah.
Indeed.
Listen, I want to say to you all and all the brothers out there, in the light of all of these shootings and killings and the degradation of black men, that I honor you. On behalf of black women, I honor you. Because I see the black men, and you guys are like the Messiah. Everybody want to be like y'all all around the world. Everybody want to do what the black man does. So now you come here to America, and they shooting us down left and right. I just finished helping a friend of mine in Chicago whose husband was gunned down by the police. Shot 18 times.
Wow.
Front and back. Arms severed. Tons of people watching. So at some point, we have to bring the value back to the black man's lives. And as black women, and I know this ain't got nothing to do with black wealth and empowerment, but I just want to say to you all that I pledge as a black woman to not be disrespectful or hateful towards another black man. If there's a brother that's around me that ain't doing what he's supposed to do, I'm going to step around him. Because we as black women, we got to stop we got to start putting a stop to some of this degradation of our lives, of our black men's lives, and killing our sons and killing our brothers and our husbands. It's worse than what we might think. It's happening every day. Ferguson that's nothing.
Yes.
All right. So anyway, I appreciate you guys. I'm grateful for you all, and I'm really thankful just to see you all as brothers, just doing so well and representing the teachings. I mean, all praises due to Allah. Just you just give me hope. Just keep going.
Praise be to Allah. Wow.
Well, thank you, Sister Wendy. Thanks very much, because you know we do it, Brother Jesse and I and us. We do it for the sisters. I mean, what a man won't do for his women and children, you know, he's not a man at all. So we thank you for your appreciation of us. Now, Sister, we want more. How can we get more, Sister Wendy?
Okay, so join my mailing list. And what I'm going to do is, I want you guys that are out there that are listening, get on there. Tell me your story. There's a section in there where you can send me an email. Tell me your entrepreneur story, and I'm going to pick 2 people to give them a 1-hour coaching session on pretty much whatever it is they want to talk about. You know, I'll help them figure it out together, and then I'll give a free gift to anybody who does participate and go out there and join the mailing list. And in terms of more and how I would like to give back and support what you're doing, I would love to participate on the Speakers Bureau. I have a couple of ideas for Hangout. I'll email them to you all. You know, you can use them if you want. That's fine, just to add some additional energy to what you're doing. I'll send you a couple of notes on that. There's another book that I'll send you. I don't want to say it on the air because it's an amazing book that I think you should start to read. And something else I was going to say. Oh, okay. I'll just send it all in a private message. I won't give it all out.
Okay. Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Absolutely. Absolutely. Well, brothers and sisters, I mean, we heard it once again, brothers and sisters, unwrapping the gifts of the Nation of Islam. That's what we say we're going to do by bringing these guests on. The ministers say we have a nation full of unwrapped gifts. Sister is by far, I mean, she just blessed us, brothers and sisters. She gave us what we need for the breakthrough that we need in order to become what God promised us to be. And we're most grateful to you, Sister Wendy, for coming on. I mean, you didn't know me from Joe Blow, you didn't know Brother Jesse, but you came on and you gave more than what you even said that you were going to give. Oh, and we are so grateful for you for that, sister. And we want you to come back anytime you get ready. The Spirit hit you that you should have said something tonight and you didn't. Just email me or call me and say, Allah put on my spirit something for your group, and we will make the time and make the space for you to come on, sis, because we have to start seeing the value in each other like the world sees the value in us.
Right.
And we have to start appreciating each other more, back to the value of the black man, but that's just us in general. So whatever we can do to show our gratitude towards you by participating, by buying products, that's nothing. That's the least we can do for what you shared with us tonight, sister. I'm just so grateful for you. And up all night. I'm on a personal spiritual retreat. I stay until Thursday, so you can talk until Thursday when I got to get on the plane, and it will be all right with me. It will be all right with me. Because that's what I came here for. So with that being said, Brother Jesse, let's swing it over to you. Let us know what's going on in the private, elusive, exclusive Facebook group. And man, I don't know. I mean, I'm just so excited. Sister's got me excited. Go ahead, Brother Jesse.
Yes, sir. Well, all praise is due to Allah. Again, Sister Wendy, on behalf of everybody of the Elusive Exclusive Facebook group of Black Wealth Empowerment, we thank you dearly, sister, for allowing, as they say in the church, to let him use you. And the spirit was definitely high. and everybody. Praise be to Allah. And we would like Brother Dow, I guess we could let her become a member definitely of the group so she can go in and just read the feedback of the people and possibly maybe respond and engage them. But they're giving and pouring out some love and appreciation tonight for that. So the group is on fire. They're still sharing feedback. Everybody's saying they're going to go to your website. So this has been a historic night. And this again shows the power of our sisters. And they you on that rostrum. So I'm just excited. My mind is turning. You got me fired up. And I know I will not be going to bed anytime soon tonight because I got so much on my mind. So thank you, sister.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, the Facebook group is on fire, brother. And I think they're going to be right along with you. I think we're going to have more conversations all this week inside of the Elusive Exclusive Facebook group. So that's the social media report, my brother.
All right, thank you, Brother Jesse. Thank you very much for that social media report. Sisters, that's why Brother Jesse and I, that's why we press so hard to get you sisters involved and get you on this hangout. Now you have an example. Now you have an example in front of you, Sister Wendy Muhammad, that's a follower of the Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad, that's out there getting it done and representing the teachings at the same time. So sisters, please join the Speakers Bureau. She said she was going to join, so you'll have an opportunity to connect with that sister inside the Speakers Bureau. So we need for you sisters to come on, step up. Brother Jesse and I make room for you to come up, because we know there's nothing, you can't do anything without you. I have 4 daughters, but Jesse got daughters, so you know what I'm saying? So we just got love for the black woman. I mean, we just got love for the black woman as unimaginable. It's unimaginable. So that's why we're so thankful to Sister Wendy from coming on and just sharing that. And I got so much from it. I don't know about anybody else, but I got pays and notes because I mean, that's just where it's at. It's our emotion. We've been traumatized through this experience, and that's what's holding us back. So with that being said, brothers and sisters, let's make sure we go to Private Elusive Exclusive Facebook group, and we show our appreciation to Sister Wendy. I will make sure I activate her so she can go in there and just get the spirit of the feedback. And we can't thank you enough, Sister Wendy. We can't thank you enough for bringing the jewels that you charged thousands and thousands of dollars for, you know, to corporate America. You brought that and gave that to us for free. So we're most thankful and appreciative to Allah for putting that spirit in you, and you went over. You over-delivered. As they say, you over-delivered, and we're grateful and thankful to that. So with that being said, brothers and sisters, let us thank Sister Wendy by going in the Private Elusive Exclusive Facebook group and sharing. Go into Twitter and hashtag and just take the notes that you've written down, hashtag BW Hangout Space, and then put those nuggets there. Give the sister credit. Wendy Muhammad, put her website, pay it forward. Do the same thing in Twitter, in Facebook. Sisters and brothers, go on your Facebook page for this next week and just rat and rave over Sister Wendy Muhammad and what she shared with us tonight. Brother Jesse, please, put in the group that offer that the sister put in there. And I'm glad she made it limited because, we just got to take action. We got to move quickly. We got to get this thing done. So with that being said, brothers and sisters, so thank you again, Sister Wendy. May Allah continue to bless you. Let's make a few announcements and we close out. Yeah, any final words from you, Sister Wendy?
No, again, just thank you so much. Thank you very much. Thank you, everyone, for listening, and thank Allah for using me, and I hope that there's something that came through me that somebody can use.
Oh yeah, most definitely that has, because I feel it, and I'm moved by it, and I can feel something changing on the cellular level, sister, based on what you said, and I mean that sincerely. So once again, thank you so very much. All right, brothers and sisters, BW members, we need a graphic designer. If you have graphic skills, get in contact with Brother Jesse. Jesse at Jesse Muhammad. Jesse at blackwealthempowerment.com. Okay. Any questions in reference to social media? That goes to Brother Jesse. Any questions about business, entrepreneurship, sales, and marketing, I'm here to help you, brothers and sisters. My email address is daryl@blackwealthempowerment.com. A few announcements coming up next week is Brother Kamal Muhammad, the former Secretary of the Nation of Islam and son of the Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad. He will share with us about the Detroit Meccan project, the real estate project that they've been buying real estate and homes in Detroit, pennies on the dollar, and they have a whole system in place to whereas all we got to do is invest our money. They'll take care of all the other parts and pieces and make that a profitable investment for us. So you don't want to miss that. Tell everybody that's in real estate or are interested in building wealth, because that #1 wealth builder since the beginning of time is real estate. So Brother Kamal will be with us, inshallah, to talk about how we can pool our resources and start buying property in Detroit. Okay? And remember, look for the posts. Look for posts about things that will grow your business in the Private Elusive exclusive Facebook group that I get from Inc. Magazine, Entrepreneurship, and some other sources. So come back during the week, brothers and sisters. Come back during the week and be educated and be informed on what's required to build wealth and have a successful business. Okay? So network with each other during the week, and go in there and introduce yourself to somebody that's the first, at least 3 people before tonight. Go on the Private Elusive exclusive Facebook group and find 3 to 4 people you don't know, brothers and sisters. Click on their comment section of their post and introduce yourself. We're a family, but we have to get to know each other. So with that being said, brothers and sisters, thank you so very much for another successful Black Wealth Empowerment live Google Hangout, a historical one. Our very first sister as a guest here, and she knocked it out of the park. She's at high standard for all of us, especially for the sisters, and we thank her for that. She did only what only a black woman can do, and we surely appreciate that, and we thank Allah for her. So with that being said, Brother Jesse, any final words, and then I'll close out, and then we can get out of here.
No, sir, brother. The Facebook doors of the church are open. You can close out.
Yes, sir. Do you believe what you heard to be true? Ain't good for black people. All right. Thank you so very much, BWE, Black Wealth Empowerment Live members. And until next week, as I always say, or I'm starting to say it in all my posting, I'll see you at the top, not from the top, because you, your family, and your nation deserves your very best. So until next time, brothers and sisters, assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum salam, sir.